there's 3 big candidates. I know Jill Stein's running as well, and she's only getting 2 or 3% of the polls, so she's there, but I don't know how much of an effect she'll actually have on the election. But the polls have all been kind of neck and neck. There was a poll released, I think the Globe, a few weeks ago. It was a 2-point lead for Deval Patrick. Some polls have met 9 points, so seems like it swings like a tide coming in and out. You're not sure. And
now it's on a point, 2 points, and it's back and forth. But, a couple of days is a long time in politics. Things can change drastically.
It's a lifetime. And speaking of not just the governor's race, but all the Democratic incumbents in general, all the constitutional offices have challengers. There's a number of state rep seats, state senate seats open up and down the valley. I know we have one here locally, and there's a number down in your neck of the woods. Do you sense that the Republicans are actually going to pick up seats?
Yes, they will. How many they're going to pick up, I can't say. But I know they're going to pick up some seats here and there. Here in Franklin County, does it look like who's going to pick it up, the Democrat or the Republican?
It's neck and neck. We had 2 tough primaries for the Democrats, and the Republicans were kind of sitting back. I know there was a primary for Dennis Geyer's old seats. Michael Case won, I believe he's a Republican who came out on top up there, and him and Steve Adams, they both seem like fine gentlemen. They're out certainly campaigning, working hard. I know the Democrats can't take anything for granted. I hope that kind of motivates Democrats to get out and vote, and we'll see. Like you said, it's a funny time. It's hard to pinpoint the electorate. So.
Well, I think it's coming down from the top.
Absolutely.
The Congress and the Senate and the constitutional offices. Now, whether it's going to come all the way down the anger to the local senators and local state reps, I don't know. I hope not for a lot of people, because I know there are a lot of good state reps and a lot of good senators, and I hope they just don't get caught up in the sweep. When Obama ran 2 years ago, a lot of people were brought in and swept in with Obama, and I hope they're not swept back out with him. And but we'll just have to see. It's going to be very interesting, and as I said a moment ago, I'm just glad that I'm not up for election this particular time, because everybody would take their frustration and their anger out, and not to say that anger is not justifiable, which it is.
Yes.
And I certainly hope that Congress and the President change the direction of the country and work on primarily getting people back to work. The big problem is jobs, jobs, jobs.
The 3 problems are jobs, jobs.
You can see our real estate closings and documentation coming into our office has slowed down. Unfortunately, one of the things that has gone up and peaked, ours has gone up 50% again this year, is the foreclosures. And that's very devastating on the economy and devastating on the people who are losing their homes or going into foreclosure.
Yeah, it's tough. I want to get back to the registry. I have so much to talk about the registries. I have one more question on the registries. Don, what do you think people know the least about your registry and registries in general? What do you think the biggest misconception is about Registry of Deeds?
Well, when I first started, I think if I walked down Main Street of Springfield or your Main Street or any other Main Street, and you said to them, people as they came along, where's the Registry of Deeds and what do they do? I don't think anybody could tell you. They probably figure that we have a green visor on and a quill pen writing up on a little desk.
The little armbands.
Yeah, and the armbands on there, and probably a kerosene lamp. But one of our goals has been to let people know what we do at the Registry of Deeds. And as I said, we go out to the general public. Not only do we go out to the general public, but we have high schools, we have junior high and elementary schools that come into the Registry of Deeds, and we show them the Indian deed. We show them all the books and how far our history goes back, and which should be interesting to them. And we also have college classes come in. People are going to be title searchers, people are going to be lawyers and practice real estate. So we have them come in the daytime, or I will open up the office at night and have the classes come in, and they come in with their professor.
Yes.
Or I have gone out to college classes. I've gone out to high school classes and political science classes, and I've taught the class, for a week or so.
Yes, great.
And this is a way of reaching out to the community because we're part of the community. And being part of the community, we should be involved with the local colleges like I am. We're involved with the Western New England College, we're involved with the Elms, we're involved with Westfield State, and they come into our registry, or we will go out to them. When we did our first electronic recording, we had Professor Art Gaudio, the dean of the law school in Western New England College.
Okay.
He came down and he was part of the presentation that we had. And I think it was Iowa. He wrote the language for electronic recording.
Oh, wow.
So again, we try to reach out. We try to reach out to everybody in the community because, as I said, we're part of the community.
Yes.
And by doing all this, I hope that people know a little bit more about the Registry of Deeds, what it's there for, how they can use it, how it can benefit them, and who's the register, and if they have any questions, they can come to me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more because I'm out and about, it seems like a ton, and I'm just trying to spread the word, and I feel that's half my job, just getting out, meeting the public and saying, here's what the registry can do, and we're not just a place where your mortgage is recorded. We're a lot more, and I've given out so many business cards, I've lost count. So, speaking of that, this kind of segues nice into my next question. You, every 6 months, I believe in January and July, you have a formal press conference, and you talk about real estate sales in Hampden County. And like I said, it kind of plays on what we were talking about. Can you describe that a little bit better for us? And what was kind of the main, was it strictly informational? What were you trying to do with the?
Since I've been a register, twice a year, we give a report of the real estate business in Hampden County, Western Mass, and what our forecast is. And it's the reception from the general public is great. We get all the news media comes in. We have a mailing that we send out to people about it. And what we do is we tell them how many deeds were taken in, how many mortgages, how many foreclosures, and we tell them how many deeds we took in and how many documents we took in. And we tell them how much money we took in. And we take a lot of money in. We used to take in over $22 million a year.
Wow.
And our budget was $2 million.
Yes.
So that was a big profit.
Yeah, it certainly was for the state, yeah.
Of course, with the real estate business down now, we're a lot less. We're still doing almost 100,000 documents a year. So then we gave our forecast. And thank God over the last 25 years that I think we've only been off a couple of times. So our forecast is well accepted, looked at by the professionals, and so therefore we have to be accurate. But I always say this, we have our finger on the pulse of the real estate business. We have our finger on the pulse of the economy, because anything and everything that is sold has to come through our office. Doesn't have to go through the real estate board.
Yes.
Because it eventually, if you and I sell each other a piece of property, it goes through the registry.
Absolutely.
So we know exactly what is happening, and we know when the market's going up and when the market's going down.
Hear, hear. And speaking of that, can you give us a little forecast now? It kind of plays into my next question. How does the real estate market look 6 months from now, a year from now, up, down?
Is my crystal ball over there?
Somewhere. I think you left it here.
I hope we're not going to go into a double recession, which right now it looks like we're escaping that.
Yes.
It looks like there's starting to be a little turn in the real estate market. We've noticed a little increase, and I hope that it stays that way. But we never know what's going to happen in the future because of the unemployment. I mean, if there's more unemployment, all bets are off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes.
Because again, as I said, jobs, jobs, jobs. But as of this moment, it looks like we're just starting to get the consumer confidence is going up a little bit. The banks have to loosen up a little bit to give a mortgage. Now they're more stringent, and they go from one extreme to the other. They were giving money away to people who didn't even have a job. That was just a disaster waiting to happen. And now, you have to have the money up to 20% down. You have to have a good income. You have to be working for X number of years at a particular job, which they should have been doing that from day one. You know, they're saying, well, everybody should have a home. Well, if everybody had a home, what would happen to the apartment blocks?
Yeah, you're right. I know the local banks follow those criteria,
Yeah.
and you notice a lot of the small local banks, literally a handful failed.
Yeah.
In New England and around the country. It's always the bigger lending institutions which needed the government bailout, which is taxpayers' money, and they were, like you said,
Our
just...
money.
Yeah, they were handing out money to anybody. You had a pulse and you were getting a mortgage, pretty much. That was the standard line. So enough about the registries and the real estate market. We've talked a lot about those. I want to get back to Hampden County, and I want to talk politics. You've been involved in Hampden County politics a long time. Has it changed? Is it different? Compare it to the rest of Western Mass. What do you think of Hampden County politics? I'm sure it has its peccadillos like every county, but in general, what do you think of Hampden County politics?
Well, everything changes. It's the same and it's not the same. It's not the same as every county office holder came from Springfield. Now, the only county office holder from Springfield is me.
Yes.
The rest of them are all moved out to the suburbs. That has changed. The demographics have changed.
Yes.
So you have to keep up with the times. New people are coming into politics, which is always good,
Yep.
as long as they don't run for register.
Yeah. Something else.
But, and you're getting new people, fresh blood, which is good. Our positions are a little bit different. We're not going to Boston, or we're not going to Washington, and we're not making rules and laws that are going to charge John Q. Public more money. We're not making laws that are going to help or hurt other people. Laws are made that you and I also have to abide by.
Absolutely.
So ours is a little bit different, even though we're elected. And, you know, thank God. You know, we're administrators, and therefore, seeing the new blood coming in, seeing new people running, you know, is good. As long as they come in with the right ideas, as long as they come in with the idea of serving the general public and not to try to feather their nest,
Yes.
I think it's a good idea.
Hear, hear. Yeah, I know politics in general, in parties, I've said it repeatedly on the show, it seems like it's a dirty word now. And public service, and what's that? But you're right, the impression is people run for office to feather their nest, and it's unfortunate, because I think there's a lot of good politicians, and in both parties, that are actually interested in serving the public.
It's the same with any profession. There are good and bad.
Absolutely. Donald, is there anything that we didn't discuss, that we missed, that you wanted to mention, something coming down that you wanted to talk about?
The only thing we missed is that we're the best registry in the Commonwealth.
Here, yeah. I love Western Mass, and I know that all the Western Mass registers have hooked up here and there, and we've
No,
done a
I
good job.
would like to say that it's been brought to my attention on many occasions that you run an excellent registry of deeds here in
Thank you.
Franklin County.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're conscientious. You're always looking to upgrade the systems that you have here. You're always looking to the future. And I think that you're one of the newer registers of deeds that we can all take our hats off to, because you're doing such a great job.
Thank you. Well, on that note, I'm not going to try to top that. It's been a quick half hour, so I want to thank you so much.
Joe, thank you.
I appreciate you coming up. Thank you for watching this month's The Western Mass Democrat. I will see you next month.
You had this thing.